Yo, what's up? Darin coming at you to answer the age-old question, to arch or not to arch? That is the question of I ask of thee. Was that a Romeo and Juliet type play? But anyway, when you're doing chest, should you arch your back? Is that bad or good? Man, I got so much to tell you. So before you start doing a chest exercise, we got to get the body ready. I'm 53, so maybe you 20-year-olds don't need to. You don't think you need to. But if you don't do this shit, you'll be hurting at 25, 35, 45. So work smarter now. So lacrosse ball. Warm your body temperature up, power walking on a treadmill. We just shot a video about that. Maybe I'll link it below. If not, search it. You got to get your core body temperature up. You got to start to loosen up some problem areas and get some blood. Does not flow down into the ball and socket joint of a 53-year-old. It just doesn't do it. And it speed up. So after your warm up, lacrosse ball against the wall, start to get the bursa sac warmed up. You can break through some adhesions. You can do a lot of good. Don't get in a hurry. A minute or two on the right, on the left. You find a knot, dig into that knot for about 10 seconds, and you'll start to break up that scar tissue, trigger point, or adhesion over time. It works really fast, actually. Then you can't work your chest muscles or your back muscles appropriately, and you can't warm up your rotator cuff, you can't rehab your rotator cuff if you're rounded forward because of technology posture and chronically doing too many chest exercises that shorten and tighten the pecs, that rotate your scapula forward, because whether you know it or not, us guys, we're walking around like this. Okay, that is not good. The ball is cramped to the front of the socket joint of your arm. This is the proper anatomical position for the ball to be optimal in the socket. Okay, now we want to go towards that. Okay, how do you do that? You foam roll the spine. You do 20 foam rolls on the spine, and you start to not flex, but you start to extend that spine back this way, so you get closer to that correct anatomical position, like that. I'll definitely put that, because that is such a huge deal. I'll put that video below on the thumbnail. You can link on it at the end of this video, because it's very critical. All right, so here we go. To arch or not to arch? That is the question that I ask of thee. Is that a guy trying to get a girl in that play? I forget. Anyway, all right, so here we go. Yes and no. Okay, so before we get into that, should girls do chest exercises? The common consensus, the feedback from my go-to source of information, Glute Girl Cheryl. Glute Girl Cheryl says yes. And I said, why do average women who don't want to step on stage and compete, but just want to feel sexy and feel good about their body and self-image, why should they do chest? What did she say? She says to help the girls out. You know, who wants big girls that are boo? We want big girls that are woo, right? We want those nips to be looking up. We don't want them looking down. We all know that. So does chest exercises lift the muscle underneath so that that's a little bit more appealing than what we want? I say she's right, yes. But are you going to get big and bulky like the steroid girls that they don't even have the competitions for anymore at the Arnold because it's gross and nobody wants to see it and nobody follows it? It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen unless you take $100,000 of steroids and hormones and insulin, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to happen. Your hormones aren't, just look at Glute Girl Cheryl. Tell me if you think she looks big and bulky, all right? Yeah, she looks sexy. So, all right, so here we go. For guys, now we got that cleared out of the way. Guys, yes and no. Should we arch? I say entry-level person, male, that has issues in their spine, their back hurts because of work, and they're scared of their back, maybe starting out, maybe no. Maybe a flat back so the spine's protected. But once you get a little bit of momentum in a month or two, when you start doing some things right, hopefully you've been following my videos and you do some more things on food, you do some more things on mindset, you do some things on goal setting with the most reasons, and you do some things with rest and recovery, and you do some things with social support. All those pillars are very powerful. When you tie simple things together, little things to do in each pillar, then in a month or two, your spine's feeling like, well, I'm not gonna hurt my back bending over and picking up a pencil off the floor. Then to optimize your chest exercises, yes, you should arch. And this is what it looks like, and this is why. All right, so this would be what a visual of a flat back looks like. This is what a visual of your chest open, shoulder blades lower and close together. Some powerlifters will put their feet back here, so they have, now the lower back is arched. Hopefully in the video you can see the lower back is arched. That means the shoulder blades are lower and close together, and the butt is on the bench. So if the butt is on the bench, and the feet are firm in the floor, and there's an arch in the back, and the shoulder blades are really lower and closer together, then you're all set to do something really positive. Your force goes from the floor, the feet in the floor firmly starts the power of this movement, and your body's like a tight coiled spring. And the reason why this is conducive to getting more of the tension into the pecs and this is just on side note, this is one technique I like with dumbbells. Pause. The thumb head's lower, staying out here, not here. You get a stretch on the pecs. Halfway up, the handles are parallel to the floor. Halfway up, the thumb heads are higher. That is the optimal curve to keep the tension on the most amount of muscle fibers in the chest. My lower back should be still arched. There should be a nice little inch to 2 inch of distance, daylight, underneath the small of my back. Now, if you're arching your back and your butt's off the bench trying to get that last rep or two, that's not good. Is there a risk of injury? Probably not for an advanced lifter, but keep the ass down. Last one. Let that air out, squeeze. I can do 3 or 4 more, but for the sake of this video, we're going to talk a little bit. All right. So why do we arch? The anatomical position, connection, insertions and origins of the pec muscles and the rotator cuff is the happiest in, this is basically a decline movement, right? You're pushing, this is a decline. This is a flat bench. So the rotator cuffs and the pecs and the shoulder girdle is happiest here. This is it's home, sweet home here. It's most powerful here. So here on the flat bench, then the ball and the upper arm bone and the shoulder is the most diverse joint in the body where it moves like all the way fucking round, man. It's like 360 degrees. There ain't shit that holds that baby in there. That thing could pop out in any second. So it's a very intricate system that holds that ball in there. It's not as happy on the flat bench, but it's still worth doing. Now the incline bench, it's even getting to the point where it's out of joint. The muscles aren't maximized because of the way they're developed, and they're happier down here. So this is good, great. So when you arch your lower back, you are essentially changing the structure so the muscles of the pec and rotator cuff feel like it's a decline bench. Does that make sense? So you get to work the chest muscles in the optimum position with a flat bench. Okay? That's the main reason why the arch is positive. And entry-level people can get there in a month or two. Maybe stay backed, keep your back flat initially if you're scared of your back. But if you're working the 5 pillars that I teach, or if you make some progress on your own, you should be able to get to the point where you arch your back flat. So another tip or two is, on the last rep or two, so see how the rib cage is open and the pecs are at a decline angle? They're the most powerful. On the last rep or two, this is what's going to happen for entry-level guys. Their legs are going to fly out here. keep the feet firm in the floor, and the back is going to want to flatten out. So the camera's over here. On the last rep or two, the back is going to want to flatten out. It's just natural trying to gain a mechanical advantage because the pecs that you're optimizing are weak. So you want to, the last rep or two, if you're doing everything right, keep your eyes on one spot, keeping the body locked firm in the floor like a tight cold spring. Every chest exercise, good one, starts with the feet firm in the floor and the body coiled like a, this is the powerlifters do this. That's why they look so weird getting into position. But on the point is, on the last rep or two, that lower back's gonna want to cave in. You fight that urge, and you keep those, you push through to your shoulder blades. If you push through to your shoulder blades and keep them tight and close together, it will minimize the lower back wanting to flatten out on the last 2 reps. Okay, so there you go. There's my spin onto arch or not to arch. That is the question that I ask of thee. You do have the power to change. Hey, if you like this video, tell me. If you didn't like it, go fuck off. No, I'm kidding. No, comment below. I'm open-minded. I don't know everything, and we'll talk it out. As long as you're respectful, I love differences of opinion and telling me that I'm wrong. Because I've been wrong a lot in the past. And then I learned how to figure out that I was wrong, and I went towards doing things more right. So you do have the power to change to make the rest of your life the best of your life.